All right, good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you're doing very good today. It's a beautiful day here in Florida, loving it down here. If you haven't moved to Florida, I think you should. All right, that's a good way to start off a trading session. Yeah, we moved to Florida about 2 years ago, and I kind of wish I would have moved down here like, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Lovely place to be. Thankful for being down here. God bless you this morning, everyone. We had a couple setups occur here already. Right around the news release, I think we had a double news release of the Empire State report and some other report at 8:30. Um, so I went in a little early on micro NASDAQ and I held long because I went in very, very light. So I actually went long here on a retouch of this level, which is an extension 62 level. Shooting for that guy on a retrace. Well, we took some heat going into the news at 8:30, and it was a very, very light position, so it was well within my risk parameters. And I said, we're just going to hold on, and looking okay. I want to get out now at the right around the 100 MA. And I think we're going to crawl back up to that shortly. It's 8:43 in the morning right now. I'll be happy to get out there and look for another setup in the micro NASDAQ. But the good news is, okay, I'm almost out of the micro NAS. Should be out here in a moment, I
Order
think.
filled.
All right, so I'm out with a couple of dollars. But uh okay, better news is the YM trade worked out just wonderfully. We had a good trade here. I went in, I waited until just a little bit after 8:35. The market retraced back down to the entry point. I took a very small amount of heat here. I had my stop down below this swing point here and hit the target up 145 on that trade, and it looks like YM is going up to the 100 MA. That's great. Happy that it's doing whatever it wants to do after I got out. MCL, oh, I just missed a trade setup here. I wanted to catch that. I was busy setting up the recording here. Um, okay, so the MCL worked out. I would have gone long here and waited for a retrace, and we did hit the
Order
target.
filled.
Oh, okay. Well, good news. Um, so I did put a standing order in the natural gas, a full contract of natural gas, waiting for it to retrace back down to this level, and it just hit that. So I'm going to put my stop down here, sell stop
Order
monthly.
submitted.
What's our total risk on this guy? So our total risk here is $150 risk. I must have some other rulers open. Okay, I do. The ruler from yesterday. All right, let's get rid of that. So let's zoom in again. We're at our entry level here, so nothing going on. Okay, nat gas moved up a little, so we are going to put our target. Now the target for this dot is this lower line, so I'm going to put a sell limit
Order
here.
submitted.
We're already up 70 bucks, guys. That's great. So I'm going to move my stop. Let's move it a little tighter. My stop is probably about 40. Maybe I'll get hit on my stop. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care. I've been trading long enough to know that stops occur. They happen. But with a full nat gas contract, I don't want to take too much risk. Let's see. Let's see what those gas buyers want to do. All right, so we're good on that trade. MES got up to the 100. Micro NAS got up to the 100. The 6E, I missed this trade. Came in late on that party. Gold has been oscillating back and forth. MCL, nat gas. All right, so we're 20 bucks in the money on that gas on one contract. Let's see if we can crawl back up to our target. I discovered also I can trade micro Bitcoin. So I do have an MBT contract open here. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll add that to the mix. I believe it's just 50 cents a tick. Yep, right there my ruler shows a half a dollar a tick. So that's a nice little add I didn't know that we could do. So 85,760. All right, I think I'm back here. Um, I was saying I remember buying a part of a Bitcoin when it was at $1,093. That was my entry price, and that was in like March of 2017. You can double check me on that, but I remember saying I was watching it at about $200 or $300 or $400, and it shot up to like 1,000, and I'm like, I gotta get in this thing. It's crazy. So March of 2017, I bought at 1,093. Thought I was a champ when I got out at about 14,000. Thought I was the best trader ever. It can't go above 14,000. It's crazy. Well, it's at 85,000 right now. Does anyone remember that story? There was a guy, I think he was in the Netherlands, who shortly before this big run up, it might have been about a $40,000 evaluation on Bitcoin. He sold his house and sold everything and bought as much BTC as he could. I hope that guy got out at the $100,000 level. Um, Good for him. But yeah, I don't have any Bitcoin right now. I'm flat in the BTC. It has done its work without me. I got out, I think it was like January of 2018 when I got out. So in a very short amount of time, like a year or less than a year, it was up 14x. Anyone have any Bitcoin stories? Feel free to share them. We're long in the net gas. Crude, we missed the party in crude. I might have gone long again there, but we bounced off the 100 MA. We had a lovely trade here in the YM, full contract, MES, not doing too much. Interesting, we did on the sell-off before this news event, we did find support at our extension 62 levels for these sell signals. Um, I don't like to trade in the direction of the trend like that, but if you do, good time to get out at our extension 62 levels. Okay, where's nat gas here? I think we're going to push up higher. What do you guys think? I don't know. That was a big sell-off at our extension 62 areas. So again, these EXT 62 levels are based on the extension 62 lines indicator that is part of the Lion method. And I'm going to give you the secret here. Okay, be prepared. Secret on its way. So what I do, it's roughly there. So I take the swing, the most current swing distance, and that is my basis for the fib calculation, and we'll do a 61.8% extension on that, and that's where that target line is. So, okay, my secret is out, all y'all. You know the secret now. That is how I am targeting the fibs. Extension 62 just does it quickly, and I don't have to think. Less I think, the better. Well, this is looking lovely here. This is looking lovely. So we are almost out in the nat gas at target. Come on now and keep
Order
pushing.
filled.
We're out. We're out.
Order canceled.
Our entry was right here. Took very little heat. And happy to have hit a target on that one. So it was up $170 trade in nat gas. risk was very small. I think you guys saw I put a stop down here at this swing low, and I'm up 263 for the day on just one contract. I did go two contracts in the micro NAS, and I only got out for like a dollar or two profit. YM, I took one contract, got out at 145. That was it. The MCL I missed. That was one I missed. That was one I missed. Hey, how you doing? Glad to have you joining us today. How's your trading been? I don't know if you have just jumped on, but had a couple of wins already. Up 263 for the day right now. How's it going, brother? Yeah, I was live yesterday as well, but my tech ineptness, I didn't have the video listed as public and it was unlisted. So I did the whole morning without it being publicly available. It is publicly available now. You can switch that as a setting in the video. But I did okay yesterday. I think I was up 100 and some dollars. It was a little rough. Market was quiet. It was I've been trying to get started at, well, today I was about 8:30 when I got on. I'd like to move it up a little bit earlier. Yeah, that was my tech issue. I started the live stream yesterday at 9, like right on the money. Nobody joined, and I was thinking, well, it's just a quiet day. And it was because I had the video as unlisted. How's your trading been? I went, I don't know if you caught my recap, so I'll do it again. But today we just got out of a nat gas trade. So natural gas hit the entry price was right here, so I waited for a retrace down to that level. I took like, I don't know, $50 of heat, and it just took off and we got out at our target. Good. I'm glad you're doing okay. YM, I had a long trade here on a retrace down back into that entry level, and we took that to target. Found it hit the 100 and bounced off. So that was a winner. The NASDAQ I took early on. Now I was a little silly. Before the news announcement at 8:30, I went long right at that point. Now I went in very light on the micro NAS, um, but it didn't quite follow my trade plan. Okay, I admit it. I blew it. I really should have put a stop right below that pin bar. I was out about $300 right down to here. And right at the news, 8:30, there was two relatively significant news events that came out, and the market just went up. I got out with just basically a dollar or two in profit on that. Oh, cool. Thanks for that feedback, Matt. Appreciate it. Glad that glad that I'm getting some usefulness here. That's what I want. The 6E has been oscillating. There was a trade here that I missed. I was busy. I think it's before I started trading. Might have been before. I think I got in right about the time that this happened. But 6E, we were oversold and got a really nice push up through there. So that would have been a winner. Gold would have been a winner here. Again, I wasn't involved. YM was a winner. MES, I don't like to trade the MES too often. I don't know. I find it's a little bit of a bully. It just doesn't quite it has my number for some reason. But well, I'm happy. I'm up 263 already. We're waiting for the next setup. I did find out, I don't know if you heard, but I can trade the micro Bitcoin, so I'll be looking at that more now. Well, that's good news. Hey, if you ever get a chance, feel free to share your method for scalping. I have developed this one. When I first started I was one of the first, I was the fifth actually. I was the fifth NinjaScript developer way back in 2007. Raymond Doe gave me the fifth third-party developer back then when they were very, very open to third-party developers and they had a whole third-party developer list on their site. This is before they were a brokerage. And the gave me the fifth place. I was my company was called Affordable Indicators. You might still see it around. It was sold to another person a few years ago. And one of the first indicators I created way back in '07 is this one. It's called the extension 62 lines indicator. I hadn't used I hadn't used it. I sold quite a number of them to other users, and I got some awesome feedback on the indicator. Um, One guy said it's the best indicator he's ever used. I think fibs are helpful, and this guy, really encouraged me to use it. So now I've got a system that uses it. I developed Leto channels just about 2 years ago, and kind of let that one sleep as well. And finally married the two together, Leto channels and the extension 62 lines um, are one unit now. Wow, that's really cool. This is going to revolutionize the way you trade. That's awesome. That's really good news. You know, Affordable Indicators? Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy. I sold the company to him back in like 2017, maybe ish, 16. Gosh, I don't know why I can't remember his name, but he's a good friend of mine, honestly. It's just I'm having a senior moment. But yeah, he's a good guy, good trader too. Affordable Indicators, that was my baby. And he's done really well with it. He's done much better than I did. Yeah. All right, where are we at? Look at that. MES just keeps going. The market is happy with the news. MCL, crude oil's dancing around the $61 level. All right, well, NG went south. Hit an extension 62 line off of that swing point. You see that swing point? That would have been a winner. I wouldn't have taken it because it's you're already way past the oversold area. That's why I looked for this entry right here, uh, and that one worked out. But that gas is taking a tumble. We'll look to see. Wait till it gets oversold again. Micro Nasdaq 6E. 6E is just flirting with oversold. MGC. One other indicator I've got on here, Matt, you might be interested in is, let me show you this. So up here is an indicator. It's called Auto Summarize P&L. And if you draw what it does is it looks for all the rulers that are on the chart. Like this ruler here is it's showing, an entry and exit level. And it calculates the ruler. It sums up all the rulers on the chart. And if it's a green line, it's a winning trade. If it's not green, like this one, let's just put a fake one up here. So if I put this one up here, this will come in as a losing trade because it's not a green line. It's a yellow line. So it considers this to have been short here and then got stopped out here. So it's counting this as a $200 loss and this is a $170 gain. So the net P&L is a loss of 3. So it automatically calculates your rulers that are on the chart. Nice thing about it is if you want to quickly switch this from a winner to a loser, you just go between the start and end area and you click on it while you hold the left control key, and that switches it from green to red. Yeah, it's a geeky thing. I'm a geek. Well, the micro NAS, or the YM would have been a good re-entry down here after it retraced, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Scalpers, we got to be more happy. I kind of thought here I knew the 8:30 trade or release was coming in, and the market just started diving into the release. What is it? Sell the rumor, buy the news. Is that what it is? And that's what happened here. They were pricing it into a more favorable position, and it got oversold with Leto channels. It hit a number of extension 62 levels, and then it took off. So yeah, I'd be happy to. Okay, basic question on the trade entry, right? So let me break it apart here. This is two charts. One of them is, this one chart is just the Leto channels. Just the Leto channels. So this is the gold. You can see right down here. It's gold Leto channels. And you don't really look for anything until you hit oversold. Oversold, it'll start printing diamonds. If you've selected diamonds, you can change that up. Um, so nothing is going on. The market, I don't want to trade a market that's doing nothing. I've been in that, and it just sits around and makes me aggravated, and it usually loses money. So I wait for a market to get oversold, overbought. That's an interest to me, and this is an oversold situation. So the indicator, you can ask it to draw these rectangles automatically, or turn them off, and you can also set it to draw diamonds automatically or turn them off, and you can globalize them too, meaning they get published to all other charts. So I look for it when it's overbought, oversold, and immediately after that, I look for extension 62 levels to come printing. Let's see if we can go back and find one here. I don't know why they're not printing. I thought they were globalized. I'm looking for the diamonds. I thought the diamonds were going to print on this chart. Must not have them turned on. So the looking to enter on a breakout above. So if this is oversold down here, which it was, um, no, it wasn't. Not on micro gold. Not on gold. But if this was a Leto channel down here, you want to look for either the prior swing high or the current swing high here, and that's your buy signal. It's oversold, and you're looking to break out above this. So the breakout here would have been right at that bar, and that's where you would have gone long. And the stop, generally the first stop, the initial stop, is the next swing low. Now you can tighten that up. Like if I went long here, I would have tightened it up to like in this area or maybe the low of this bar, and I would have moved it up. Ideally, that's what I like to do. But let's take a look at an actual example. So this is a good example. This is net gas, and you can see it just tumbled out of bed, tumbled, 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 and then it found a bottom here. It waited, it hung around. Now I did a little modified entry. So when I got observing this, it had just passed up the entry level. It just passed up this level. Let me draw a blue line here. And I didn't want to go chasing it. It was just up here when I noticed it. So I put a buy limit down here. And the market, actually, I wasn't paying attention to it, but it went up, 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 I guess, and then came down and filled my limit order. So I don't chase it. I could have in this instance, and it would have worked out, but I don't chase it. And so I filled it at the actual swing high, and then I just put my target in at the first extension level. I think it's pretty simple. Um, I'd love to hear your feedback, though. I'd love to hear how you would approach it. There's a different approach there for you. So I'm not scalping a tick or two. It's not that kind of scalping I do. Um, I do, pretty quick trades. This one was pretty quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and I was out. And I was out at 17 ticks, $10 a tick here. So, but I like being oversold at extreme levels. This is a 90-10 line. These dots are 90-10 dots. So it separates the distance. Um, the market is 90% of the time it doesn't get to this level away from the 100 MA. 90% of the time it doesn't hit it. 10% of the time it does exceed it. And that's when it can go all the way down to here is the maximum distance it's ever been on the chart, however many days I have on the chart. This is the maximum distance it's ever been from the MA. So in here is a rare situation when it gets into this area, and that's what I'm saying. It's oversold. And we're looking to break above a swing point, go in. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's refreshing to hit a 17 tick scalp. Um, I've been like really greedy when I trade, and I trade for these huge targets thinking I found the low of the day, like if I'm down here, this might be the low of the day, I don't know, but I used to I used to go for the long ball and kind of swing trade on intraday charts where I'd go in, I'd wait for it to go up, and I'd try and at least put my stop to break even quickly. But as you can see here, it would have killed my break even stop. A good trader, maybe a better trader, would be able to hold that for go rail to rail. If you can buy it at the oversold and sell at the overbought, that's ideal. But I'm looking for singles. I'm trying to hit the consistent singles here. Oh, it's doing well. What do you typically shoot for your scalps, or what have you scalped distance wise? Are you a typical, like, 1 point scalp in the arena of like the ES, like a $50 scalp, or was it 20 in the MNQ or the Nasdaq? And I'm also learning just to slow down a little bit and don't go huge contract counts in, manage your exposure. My lesson the Lord is teaching me. Just slow it down, brother. And oh, you know what? Let me show you this. Hmm. This is pretty sharp. So there I am right now. I haven't had any losses. How about that? I'm up net profit of 314 today. The I think more commissions have to come out of that. I might be wrong though. But what I've been looking at is my I want this half hour of the day. So this is telling me some good info. I got to be careful when I come into the 132 to 130 to 230 time frame. System made some bad moves. It's only down. I mean, of all the days I've traded, it's bad here, 2 to 2:30. But at the end of the day, because of this, I'm thinking about making a room, opening up a room at the end of the day because the closes are doing well on this system. All right. Oh, okay. One loss and then three wins to get back even for your system. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah, I took a loss yesterday in, dang, Micronaz. Let me see what it was. Yeah, so I took a loss in Micronaz that put a bee in my bonnet. I was long here. I went long here on a breakout, chased it a little bit, and I got stopped out right there. So that was that's a $210 loss. I think I had two contracts. Um, and look, I had really, the system is the stop should have been down here. You put a stop at the swing low. You could trail it once you get a good support area.
Connection lost.
Um, but I got stopped out right there, put a bee in my bonnet, and it went to target. I did go long here and a breakout above that level, so I did recoup some things, and I was out really quickly. I think I put a target right. Oops, get that out of the way. My target was right at that extension 62 level, but I went in on that guy. So I was up 74 from that, but $110 loss. There you go. Bigger targets and a higher win rate. That's what you need. That's what you need. It's nice to have those trades that come back and you recover from. Now here's one that was not a smart trade. I went long here, probably on a retracement of that breakout. It moved up and I got skittish and I got out at a break even. I think I had my break even stop there. But this was a little break against my rules because we hadn't revisited oversold. I just went long on an expectation of higher prices. And the market Mondays are just a little flat. So, so that was Monday. So I got out here. I think it was just a $4 win. That was my trade today. Micro Nasdaq can be a real pill for me. YM has happily moved north. My family will be happy the stock market is going back up. All you equities holders out there probably a little nervous. I did the research. 1929 market crash was an 89% sell-off. So the market went from like 400 down to like 50 or something like that back in 1929. And that would have been a big move. If we went 89% in the last couple of months, that would have been a real shocker, wouldn't it have? We've only gone down 10%. We've had a 10% correction from the January or December highs. So not a big deal. If we really had this, I was watching Jon Stewart the other day, 2 days ago, and he was like, "Oh, it's a financial Armageddon, uh, worse than the 1929 crash." And I'm like, "Guy, you don't know what you're talking about." With 89% sell-off in 1929. It's a little different than what we saw. Yeah, well, sensationalism sells. People want to get the big news. All right, well, I got my 145 out of my trade here, but it makes me upset that I missed the $630 trade. Gotta admit, crude has gone almost into overbought. Nat gas came back down, pushed up here, waiting for my lion setup. Waiting for the lion setup. Where's micro Bitcoin? One other thing about Leto channels is we do have these dots or histograms. Let me change this to histos for you. Come on, there we go. Dots. Go to histo on the tendency marker. So, wait, I think I have a wrong setting. Yeah. Okay, so the tendency histo. So maybe you're not familiar with that. It's something that I've been watching and seeing if it's valid or not. What it is in the red area, it's negative, meaning that it's below the 100 MA, meaning that typically over the last 7 days, I think I've got it set to. The last 7 days, the market is below the 100 during this time of day. So this gives you an idea of how the market has behaved during this time of day over the last 7 days. And it's been negative. So between here, what is it, like 1140 and 1430, it's usually been a down market. Right now, this was what, yesterday? Yeah. The market was above its normal tendency. So that tells me there is a divergence, right? Um, there's a divergence between what it typically has done and what it did today. So that makes me more interested when we do get overbought because the market is expected to be below the 100. It's high, but it should be low, and it's a good time for looking to short. Um, and this would have been a great short. Can't argue with that. Get in this area, but it's a little touch and go. Um, here is tendency now. The last part of the day going from 1430 to 1700 is a rally. So it shows that the market has usually been above the 100 MA because it's green. So that information is helpful, and it would have played out well in this situation. We're oversold. The expectation is up, and it pretty much up all the way up until 5 o'clock, and that was basically what happened. Basically. Does that make sense too? Here's another good example. So the expectation is from overnight 2020 all the way up until 2350. The market has rallied historically. That's what the green means. And it had actually done that yesterday, even further. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And this is what it looks like in the future. So this is the current bar all the way back here, 920 here, 921 in the morning. And this is what the expectation fingerprint is for this market. We're looking at above the 100. We're looking at going below the 100 a little bit, and then a big push up around 10 o'clock. A reversal usually occurs between around 10 o'clock upward. Now, when the market moves upward, the 100 MA is going to follow it. And so when we hit or when we weaken, that's either the market weakening or that's the 100 MA catching the market. So, that's what that means. But eventually it does turn south below the 100 pretty strongly, and I would imagine these bars have been a downtrend typically throughout that part of the day. So that's the fingerprint for this market. Gives us a little expectation in the future. Yeah. Let's see, number of days. I think it's a setting. Yeah, right here, tendency period in days. So right there, 7 days. I've been using that as a default. Um, how many days do I have on the chart? That's important. So I've only got 9 days loaded on the chart. Another thing I was playing with is let me widen this out a little bit. Tendency basis on points. I should change that wording. That's BASIS. So is it on points? Or if you uncheck it, if not, it'll be based on counts. Points or counts. So this is points, meaning it takes the raw price in points and it calculates this distance and it draws it as points. If it's 10 points below the MA, then it'll be, the average of whatever that is, 10 points. That line would be 10 gold dollars, $10 below the MA. But if you change it now to be a basis on counts, this is what it is. This is the number of instances of it being above or below the MA. So it's different. So this tells us it doesn't regard how far it was above or below it. It just tells us it was above and below it. So 1 count, 2 count, 3 counts. So right here at this time of day, it's been 3 times it's been above of the last 7 days. 1, 2, 3. You can kind of count them as a stair step. So this is telling us at least twice out of the last 5 days or 7 days, it's been above the MA. So I was looking at that just to see how frequent it is above, not the distance it is above, and that could be useful. You can see that here too. One other thing too is equidistant channel. Right now, it is not equidistant, meaning that this channel above the MA can be a different distance than the channel below the MA. Like this is a very big difference. This channel is only $410. This channel is $930 at the same time of day. And the reason that is because the market is usually above the MA here. So the distance for the 90% is higher because it's usually above the MA. So that explains why this is farther out. It's usually above the MA. And that explains why this is closer to the MA, is because it's less frequently is it below the MA, and it's usually below the MA by a smaller amount. That moves these channel lines up. So these are non-equidistant channels. If you change that to equidistant, then I think I take the average of all of them, and these channel lines are now equidistant from the MA. That's 870 and that's 870. So I've basically neutralized that and I just count them all as an equidistant value. Don't know if that's as helpful. It's not really representative of historical data. Uh, so the south and the bottom end of this is just too far. Typically, the market does not hit that level. So that's why I keep it on. Do not use equidistant. I uncheck that. You can change the MA period. I like the 200 MA as well. I have thought of going to 50, but that just seems too whippy. You need something that's an anchor. You need an anchor that doesn't move too often. That's really helpful. Now, days of the week, you could actually hone this down to, I just want today. Or today being Tuesday, I could just say, I just want Tuesday's data. And it excludes all the other days. And this just shows you what happened last Tuesday. Isn't that interesting? Last Tuesday, the market tanked on the gold. The red bars show it tanked down to this level last Tuesday. And that's exactly what happened. What day is this? This is Tuesday. Yes, it's 15th. So the market repeated what it did going into that news event. Last Tuesday, the market hit down at this level and then rallied, but today it just kind of went above the MA. Last Tuesday, the market was consistently above the MA here, but today it was consistently below it. You can see last Tuesday it hit the extension level. This might be what caused that extension level, this channel line to be at that level, was price hit way up there. You can see that happens a little bit here and here. Now you got me just talking. You got me talking, Matt. Rambling. Go back to see how the market is doing. All right, well, I'm glad I missed that trade. That would have been, it's not really oversold yet. We need it to push a little bit lower. But had you gone long here, you would have been stopped out. Oh, it's 9:30, all y'all. 9:30. What is the market gonna do? 9:30. Yep. 9:30. 9:30. Should be opening any momentito, maybe another minute. All right, I'll keep talking. Hopefully I'm making some sense. Micro NAS is now the expectation histo. Okay, it's 9:30. You can see the dots are down here and then it rallies. Let's change that to a histo so we see it a little better. So expectation, all the days considered together, average of all the days, because I have it set to all. So it's averaging all the days together, and this is the average of all days together. So let's see how it do. It is interesting that the average showed that during this time of day, right, the histo's green, meaning usually the market is above the 100 here, and it actually did. It came up and was above it. Right, little confluence. Um, I have seen some really interesting patterns. I think they're significant. Time of day, the market reverses, and if it does have a consistent reversal, you'll see that. Like right here, we went from typically bearish, and now we're typically bullish. And look at that, right at 8:30, market sold off into 8:30, and then historically it has been a buying at that 8:30 mark. That's pretty cool, right? All right. The YM. Let's switch them to histogram if you like that. Again, the equities have seemed to behave similarly. All the equities have kind of followed their own Similar pattern here. Okay, I am connected to that. So yeah, I have never seen anything like it. And Leto Channels is unique in that algorithm. So Meta, the big bad Meta here. What I really like the histo is on equity trades here. If you're trading stocks, let me show you something. Is opening gaps are really fascinating to me. So the opening, I have seen in prior days, if the histo back when Tesla was trending upward, the histos here were huge green histos. They were up, right? So it would open up way up here. So initially, the market when it's trending upward is way up here. These histos. Well, when Tesla would open it up down, like during its initial turnover and went south, it would open down here, and there'd be huge green histos up here. And you would be amazed at how the buyers stepped in. It really did show that there was initial buying pressure up into that area. So I really was looking at these as an opening gap measurement. Like, look at this one. Uh, so typically Tesla has been opening down below the 100 MA. When it opened up this high, something is out of whack and would have been a good selling opportunity. Let's go back. This one, it didn't open up quite out of normal, but there's still a little sell-off. This was in line with its normal pattern, a little bit above. So you need to get it overbought and then have this histo showing. You need to have a good divergence. All right. Well, 6E could be another buy here. It really never got oversold, so I'm not going to mess with it. We need pressure. We need some good downward exhaustion. I turn off the histo sometimes because it does get in the way of price bars, and you can move it, but one other setting is I think I can turn off the opacity on historicals. Past positive tendency opacity. So if I went down and I just didn't want it to be as strong, this is 10% opacity, and you can almost not see them. Actually, you can't see them. So you can turn them off if you find it's too much. All right, so you can see them a little bit, I think. Let's go to 4. All right. So where's our micro NASDAQ? Well, I mean, we do show a tendency for it to go down below the 100, and we did have a little sell-off at that time. I use my uh, Schwab account, formerly TD Ameritrade. So if you have TD Ameritrade account, you can connect NinjaTrader to it. Okay, we are overbought in crude. Overbought in crude. So we're looking for a sell signal, and the tendency histo shows It could happen. It could happen. Yeah, it's a good way. You can only get time-based data. You can't, I think minute is the lowest time frame that they'll give you at Schwab. Yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, so you would go and add, I think you can add, yeah, Schwab Beta should show up in this list. So you know about your connections, go to the bottom of the list, Schwab Beta, add it, and then you're just connecting. There's a little authentication thing it'll tell you. Do that, and it takes you to one of those authentication screens, and it's really that's it. That's all you got to do. You got to sign into your Schwab account from this authorization thing. It's really pretty simple. I can help you with it if you need it, but let's see. Tesla is moving up. Let's go to what do you want to look at? You want to look at Apple? See what Apple has done. You're welcome. Well, Apple is setting up. Well, no, it really never got oversold. This would have been a buy signal up here, but it's just not down there yet. Wow, look at that. Yesterday, huge open up high. Tendency is huge down, and right at the massive extension, full extension, boom, right there. We go short. Again, you want it to hit like this one. I don't know. You want it to hit the overbought, oversold at the gap open, and then you want it to be contrary to what it normally opens at. There's one. A little weaker though. Just didn't quite hit it. Went sideways. This was on the 8th. Eventually it turned south, but this one might have been a fake out. Way oversold, but the market is usually oversold, so not too exciting. Usually oversold, but way oversold. This was on the 3rd of April. So interesting. Any other stocks you want to look at? I watch Boeing because I think Boeing is just a nightmare company. I don't know if they're still going to be in business. Here on the 14th, we didn't get overbought until this level, and then it did sell off. Let's take a look. I don't know. It's been kind of sleepy today. We had some trades right before you joined in. MBT pushing up to 86. It was down to 76 like a couple days ago. And like a 12% gain in Bitcoin. Ethereum, haven't looked at that one in a while. I like to look at Solana. Oh, ZRX. Let's see what ZRX has done. I haven't seen that in a while. Oh, it's kind of sparse with data. Yeah, it's just kind of choppy. Look at that one with Leto channels. Cryptocurrency. I do like Solana. It's pretty fluid. The meme coin platform, Solana. Not really hitting its overbought, oversold levels. There's one. Overbought, overbought. Came down to the 100 pretty nicely. Overbought, overbought. Here's overbought. And then it did get filled right in this area. And it just might have just missed that one. But you probably would have had break even by then. That was a great trade, but it did not hit overbought. Oversold. Go long here, took some heat, but eventually it did hit the target right in this area. This one's a winner. So one thing you want to do is when you're overbought, you can look at the most recent one. That's an important entry detail. So the one prior to being overbought or the one after, I prefer one that it forms prior above the 100 as opposed to below the 100. Both of them would have worked out on this situation, but I don't want to sell below the 100. I'd rather sell above the 100. These are winners. Severely oversold. We go long right in this area. Our target is up here and we hit it probably there. That's a long hold on a scalp, but that's what it is. These are winners. We go oversold here. Boom, boom, boom. Go to the tightest. You want to enter at the lowest of the three, and that's right here, and then we're just in and out. All right, a little is touching the oversold level would have been a winner. This short, this short's a winner. This short's a winner. It's long. Oh, not valid. There's a good winner. Boom, all the way down to here. That's a good 88-cent move in Solana. So that's how the system works. MNQ, 6E. Hmm. Trade was a winner, but it never got oversold. MGC is pushing down as expected to a degree. I want to go to Histo. Nat gas. Basically had three winners on this trade. Basically. But first trade, if you got long here, you would have got target in 2 or 3 minutes. I went long here, I got target in like 7 or 8 minutes. Go long here again, you would have hit target real quickly. But I'm just trading the first signal. All right, I'm flipping around through a lot of charts. Hmm. I'm up 263 today on basically one contract trades. I had a two contract micro NAS, but I only got like $4 or $5 on it. Should have held on. I would have been up 334 to the current price. Hmm. Followed the historical pattern. It did have a sell-off here going into this weakness and then pushed higher. And we can see it historically it moves down up until 1220 and it can, we're up here. This is the highest move and then we can move down and then we can move up. Hmm. Sometimes it even works. Sometimes it works. So YM is overbought. This is probably going to print a extension dot any minute. Once this one ends, this time ends, interesting, huh? It hit this extension 62 level right on the money. But with this big run up in this just near term future, you might want to think about not taking a signal or at least I like to wait for a little bit more confirmation. Like I did on this nat gas, no, not a nat gas. It was a YM. Look for confirmation. By that I mean wait for it to break above the entry price and then wait for a retracement back to it. Let's see. Well, nat gas is a good example. I was a little late to the party, but it went above it, and a retrace back into it is a solid signal usually, because it shows the market is willing to go above that price, very much so. They kind of sold off here just to shake some people out, and then they resumed the buying. Ooh. All right. MGC followed its pattern nicely. It was down here, it was up here, and it's down here. Let's see if it goes up. The oversold in GC is all the way down here. I don't think it's going to hit it. Equities just keep on keeping on. There is one other criteria in drawing of the dots on extension 62. Oh, it just showed up. One other criteria on these dots. It just showed up, and the reason why it did that is because it kept moving higher. And that is what is called the minimum ATR multiplier, I think. There we go. Minimum ATR mult to fib A, minimum ATR mult to fib B. So fib A is the short term or near term line, which is set to 0.618, and then 100% on the fib B. So this is saying that if the second swing moves at least one ATR, that's what the one means, then it's a valid swing point. And for the fib B to come into play, it needs to move 4 ATRs. Well, let's take that down to 1, and I'll show you how that looks. So now we start printing these magenta lines. They're a little darker. That's fib B. So it's 100% of the swing, not just 50% or 61.8. So you see that 100% line is drawn, the 61.8 line is drawn. So those are the two fibs. I don't usually draw the fib B. And the one way to turn it off is just to put a very large minimum ATR mult to fib B, a very large number, meaning it has to have a big swing in order for it to print one. Uh, so like this, it printed fib B because this swing was 4 times the ATR. That swing was big enough to validate a fib B being printed. So it doesn't happen very often with the 4. Hey, Matt, if you are appreciating the videos, I would really love to have you post a comment or like or subscribe to my channel, but I think you're subscribed already. But just like, comment, and just help with a little YouTube juice. Kind of sleepy here, guys. I don't see anything really exciting. I thought Tuesdays were going to be, ooh, micro Bitcoin. What happened? Somebody fell out of bed on that guy. I don't want to trade it because I haven't traded but this Bitcoin in a ever. So I just realized that I have it on my platform and I could put a
Order submitted.
order on it so I know
Order canceled.
I can trade it when it actually happens. I don't know. It's just been sleepy here today. I thought Tuesday would be a Monday was flat as a pancake. Uh, let's go to Histo on this. Throwing it back a little bit so it makes it easier to read, I think. Methinks. See now, interesting. Normally, Bitcoin is above the 100 on this time, and we had a big sell-off, and then we put a bottom in. We really haven't been overbought here, so I can't the valid short. Overbought is up above us, and we're coming at the end of this 30-minute period. So we would have to reach up here in order to be a valid short signal. See, now this is a nice thing, little channels, is I don't want to trade in this if it's just not an excited market. I don't want to grind around and just eat up commissions and eat up P&L. I want to know when a market has moved. My trades are reaction trades. They're reaction against a big move. Overbought, oversold, revert to the mean. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to show, let's see if we do, I was trading a 6J a couple days ago. That can really move based on Japan's crazy bank. I don't know how they're surviving in Japan. Their bank is horrible. It's been bad since like what, 89? They basically have like negative interest. ES. Well, we're not overbought yet. Not overbought quite yet. And historically, we're in an area where it's a strong up move. In the last 7 days, it's been strong at this time of day. So I would wait till the overbought level. Does that make sense? YM is overbought. Red dots printed even. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna hold off. Now, again, if it goes below it and then comes back up to it, then I might consider shorting it. But I'm not gonna get suckered in. Could be a fake out breakout. Plus, we got a pretty nice shelf right here. We have a pretty nice shelf. Boom, it broke above it. This could be a move. If we get down to here, it could be a move up. What is your settings at? Do you have all? How many days do you have on the chart? Two. Gotta have, I think, at least 9. All right, so I got 15 days of 1 minute data on the micro ES. The day of the week, you want to have it all, and the defaults on everything else. You got 30 days loaded. Change it to 15 and let me know if you get the same levels. Look at that. We got a little fake out breakout happen there on the YM. I got 50 days on the YM. Let's go down to 15 and see how that affects things. Well, in the last 15 days, yeah, we definitely have a larger volatility. So it's moved it out of the overbought, oversold region. So this isn't technically a signal yet. When I factored in 50 days, it was. Oh, no. You had 30 days loaded. Yeah, going to the last 15 days has been a lot more volatility, which moves out the lines. If you take in 30 days, it's going to flatten out that. All right, well, 6J was a good short up here. Good buy down here at 740, 750. I got 50 days on here. Let's go down to 15 and see if that is a little bit farther out. Yeah, doesn't make much of a change. Let's switch it up and do the Australian dollar. I haven't looked at that in ages. Aussie dollar. G'day, mate. Well, the Aussie dollar did well here. Boom. Couple of good long trades coming off the oversold level. This was on the 14th of April. Even this one was, well, it wasn't oversold yet. I can't call that as a buy. This is the 11th of April on Friday. How did it do? Winner right there. That one hit target. This is a winner. So overbought down here. The next entry, boom, hit target. This one was just a rocket shot back and forth, no signals. Here's a buy. So we oversold, a buy dot, and then hit target. You know what? I haven't looked at platinum in a while. Let's see. Platinum. Real wild ride on platinum. So that one's a little high. I don't want to be trading too close to the 100. I want to be far away. This would have been perhaps a loss. Platinum seems to be falling. This one's a winner. That's a winner up there. Boom. Uh, that one might have been. So we're oversold. The first signal that's near that was this guy, and boom, our target was up here, and that got hit there. Platinum. Let's take a look. Haven't looked at my favorite meat lately. Live cattle. Well, you might consider a valid short at that price because we're in overbought right now. We didn't really get much going on yesterday. Yeah, nothing really overbought, oversold. This is overbought, and here's a beautiful short right there. Boom. All you vegans out there hate me. This was close. Just didn't get quite down to overbought, so that's not really a valid trade. Here's overbought, and boom, that's a winner. Uh, what's the risk on this? 220 on the risk, so might have got stopped out, but it was close. This would have been a follow-up winner had you gone short there. So do you trade only the ES? Oops. All right, coming at 10:08 in the morning. Ten oh eight in the morning. I don't have my big hit. Well, I had my trades today. Matt, you missed them. You missed my trades, Matt. The volatility has gone from the market. See what our let's take a look at the YM daily blank. Go to daily. Yep, yesterday was a sleepy day. Today is sleepy. Awesome. Great to hear your feedback, Matt. I'd love to have you comment that in our in my videos. Yeah, all these dots, diamonds here are Leto channels producing diamonds in history. They're shared globally. They get really a pain. Turn them off. I think I can kill them here. So you can, yeah, globalize diamonds. Turn those off. There we go. Cleared up those. And look at that, huh? We are stuck right there. Former support becomes resistance. December 2nd or 3rd or 4th. That's a high right there. 45,987-ish. So let's say 46,000. We came down to low of 36,000. 37, let's say. So that is a $9,000 on a 45 $100,000. What's that math turn out to be? I just do this. 20% down move. All right, 20% sell off. Look at that, almost to the dollar. 20% move. Again, 1929 was a 89% downfall. Yeah, you're probably right on that. 20% loss. Something tells me that they knew this was 20% sell-off. That seems like a very nice, convenient number to put some buying programs to come in, don't you think? Buy when we're 20% down. Buy the hell out of it when you're 20% down. Oh, the YM really did take a tumble. Hasn't been that low. The ES didn't go down that much. Has not been that low since November of 23, huh? The last year of Biden's presidency. Here to there, roughly. 17% up move. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? MGC, LE. BA, Boeing Airlines, or bad airplanes. I don't know. I haven't seen anything bad. Nothing tragic lately. Doors flying off, people getting hurt. So the YM, if you go to 50 days in the chart, is a sell signal. But as we're bringing in the channel lines, pretty interesting how it's following the expectation histogram, huh? But we are looking at a weakening here, and it's interesting we put a break below that low. Something to think about. 330. Make it a little easier to read. Look at that, huh? A little push up during this time of day. Are we getting ready for a sell-off in the crude? Maybe. Natty. Got your natties in the styrofoam. Natties like to go south this time of day. Could put in a double top, right? Yeah. Call me a prophet. Let's go a little bit more transparent on that. Look at that, Matt. Look at that, Matt. So tempted to go short. Sure tempted. Tell you what, I'll go short up here. Let's go short up there.
Order submitted.
Yeah, I I can't say anyone is better than the other that I've seen. There are times when it's lockstep, and there's times when it just falls and does its own thing. So I find that if it is doing it consistently that day or that morning, it's something to think about. Uh, so I'm going a little off script here. This was where sellers stepped in. Let's see if we get up there, but no, I think we're going right to target. We missed that one, but micro NAS, what is the, oh, the ES did the same thing, huh? Yeah, that was the trade. Should have taken that one. Boy, 2 minutes late, and I'm really late. So this was just touched overbought, right? And it's just market just kind of languished, but given our histogram here, I would have smarter person would have been trading that one short. At gas, neither overbought nor oversold. Well, I don't know about this short.
Order canceled.
Cancel it. We missed it. We missed it. Paid off our mortgage. Tuesday. Is there any energy releases coming out Tuesday? Ah, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We've got some speakers. Yeah, nothing much, huh? Maybe that's why it's quiet. We don't have too much today. Lisa Cook speaks at 7:10 p.m. Thank you, Lisa. I bet she's out in California somewhere. Lisa Cook. So look who's coming back into our sell dot level. Rude. Well, Let's take a short here if we go down a little. I think we can retouch that fib. I didn't go short yet because I was looking for a breakdown below. Maybe a little softening on this move up. That's looking better. All right. Let's put ourselves
Order submitted.
at the high of that wick. And if we fill it, target our first extension level. Other than that, it's been a snooze festival. Meta, LE, MGC, nothing going on. I haven't heard too much about Drill Baby Drill. Was that something back in 2017? I'm so glad Trump's back in there because I really miss some of his tweets, but he hasn't, I don't really follow his tweets anymore. So spectacular tweets from his first term. Woo, he was acting like a teenager. I thought it was quite funny. Look at that, Matt. Missed that one. Missed it. Yeah, I should have gone short when it hit that level. Hmm. Should have gone. Should write a book called Should Have Gone Short. Should have gone short. Ain't no shouldas, couldas, or would've in trading. Well, guys, and I missed one in my favorite meat, beef, valid short there, guys. What was I doing? $160 move in the meats. Let's see if we got anything on feeder cattle. Now, feeder cattle, those are the ones I think they're fattening up. They're feeding them to take them to market. So these are the ones you're eating. Live cattle are the ones that are going to live. Technically, you could go short on a retrace up into there. Feeder cattle is a little bit less, it's a wider spread though. Could be a little herky-jerky. Good pattern. What are we targeting? We would be targeting a $225 move. I don't know. I'm feeling like doing it. I'm just bored selling
Order
it.
submitted.
But I'm going to sell it if it gets back up to that level. Nice. You're up 214 on that with expected Leto and some Delta bubbles. Nice. Ah, that's good. On the ES, huh? You caught that move down? I don't know if I like that. Flirting with the 100 MA. Well done on your trades there, my friend. I don't know. I like this feeder. Come on, everybody should be trading cattle. Come on, in America. Good job. Got a little piece of it. Got a little piece of the MES breakdown here. I don't usually trade crude. Crude usually spanks me, but there's nat gas. Nat gas is doing nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. Yeah, MGC is doing its thing.
Order filled.
Oh, we just got filled on something. MCL, so we got filled on feeder cat. Yeah, now we gotta pray for it to go
Order
down.
submitted.
Well, look at that. Who's up 50 bucks already, huh? Who's up 37.50? Oh, okay. Well, you've been in families in was in ranching. So feeder cattle is what they're fattening up, isn't it? They're getting ready to sell. Come on now. Don't go down. Go down, bro. Oh yeah, we're shooting for 225 here. Some people here I trade live cattle and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll trade hogs too." Yeah, I think they are. Feeder cattle getting ready to go to market. Oh, there goes my $50 gain. Easy come, easy go. Ah, okay. I'll let the Mexicans raise them, all that cost, and then just feed them, huh? All right, well, I'm not liking this already. Maybe I made a boo-boo. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first time. So you can see our expectation is pretty far to the south. Will it follow it? I have a lot of expectations that are pretty much ignored. Pretty much ignored. Uh, oh, nice. Nice. Cotton. That's interesting. When I started this crazy trading career of mine back in, I was 1991, oddly enough, I was following a guy who you could trade commodity options a lot cheaper than you could trade futures back then, as long as you did it with covered, positions, spreads. I was in a cotton trade. I actually did pretty well on it. Cotton options. No, I never met Wells Wilder. I was working with an educator named, oh gosh, what was his name? Ken, gosh, am I getting old? Oh, I forgot his name. Ken something. The world's greatest money making manual. I think it was mail order back then. You learned about things mail order. Uh, Ken Roberts? Ken, it might have been Ken Roberts. I gotta look him up online. He taught me the infamous 1, 2, 3 tops and 1, 2, 3 bottoms. Ken Roberts, thank you. Wells Wilder was 20 minutes from your house? Ken Roberts course? I had Ken Roberts course. It was like the TWAMPM. He called him like the world's greatest money making manual or something like that. It was an acronym. Oh, come on now. Why you gotta do me like this? That's what you gotta do. You gotta go south. Nice. Wild Wilder. That's what you gotta do, feeder cattle. You wanna go to about 281.4. That's what you wanna do. That's what you wanna do. I don't know. I'm not feeling the crude trade, guys, so I'm gonna yank
Order canceled.
my sell limit. Where's my feeder cattle? Look who's making money here. Oh, no, it's back to zero. Finding the 100 to be a psychological level. He thought he was a rock star. Yeah. Well, I might be able to do you one better, although maybe not. You tell me. But I was on a plane tarmac, an airport tarmac in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. This was in like 2010, 11, and I'm wearing my NinjaTrader baseball hat. Me and my wife are out on the tarmac. It's sweat. I'm sweating like crazy because it's hot like crazy out there, and they don't have indoor terminals. You're basically outdoors. And I'm at tarmac, and this old guy walks up to me and he goes, "Oh, you're a trader, huh?" And he goes, "Oh." I look at him and say, "Yeah, yeah, I do, and I do development." Turns out I didn't recognize him, but he is Larry Williams. And I only he mentioned his name, but I was not thinking. And I'm like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and about an hour later, I'm thinking through this interchange. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that was Larry Williams." I hope he's doing well. I don't know. He's getting up there in age, but he had an office in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Must have been flying out. Larry Williams, yes, sir. I'm like, what an idiot. I would have loved to hang out with that guy. Larry Williams. Missed it. I missed my big chance. That was my have you met a commodity trading rock star? That was my claim to fame. Out on a plane tarmac, airport tarmac in U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. Larry, if you're watching my video, I hope you remember me. Hope you're doing good, Larry. God bless you. Look at this 100. This 100 is proving to be a pill. Proven to be a problem here. Yeah, baby. Drop, baby, drop. Look at that expectation. You've got to pay attention to that expectation. It's got to be. Come on, feeders. All you 7, 8 traders out there who are trading with me on the feeder cattle. Let's go short. Hey guys, I want $225. You could break through that 100 easy. All right, now we're talking 62. Oh, come on. Boy, it's like you're stepping on a hot plate. Stepping on a hot plate. You can go south. I don't know. I might get out of this trade. It's just going nada, nada, lima, nada. Yeah, look at that. Just back and forth. Its spread is monstrous. I have the spread lines printing here. I don't know if you can see them. This one's kind of obscured, but that's what these two short lines are moving around out here. I think feeder cattle needs to drop. I think that's way about time. But this is one thing I found entering near the 100, you can get into these situations. So, tell you what, guys, let's move our target to here. Let's see if we can hit that level. I'm sure it's going to shoot through like a rocket, right? My luck. Story of my life.
Order filled.
Hey, we're out. We're out. My first feeder cattle trade in a couple of months. And guess who won it? Guess who won the trade? So, what do we get here? We got about 80, 62, 50. Well, 5 ticks in feeder cattle. I made more in feeder cattle than many of you made in feeder cattle. Let's just put it that way. All right. Matt, I'm done showing off today. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's 10:42. I am so glad you joined me, Matt. God bless you all. If you're tuning in with me later in your life, I wish you had a great time between now and then. And if you have passed away in that time, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I hope you're having a good time in glory. Hope you knew Jesus. The Lord loves you. God loves you all. And He made a way for you to be saved. You know, I was an atheist actually for many, many years, 27 years of my life. And I learned how wrong I was. So if you're going down the wrong path, God loves you very much, no matter what you did and who you are, and He can make you whole. So Jesus Christ died for you, and He paid for your sins. He paid for all of them, past, present, and future. So that's what a Savior does, a perfect Savior. Guys, God bless you. Matt, I'm going to shoot for 9. I think today I started about 8:20. I think it was right before the announcement. Oh. And I've got my lines starting at 8 now. This is an 8 o'clock start, so I might start looking at things at 8. Excuse me. Sneezy face. I'm glad I got out of feeder cattle because it's already up here. Um, so hey, I hope you can join me. We're coming up on Easter, Good Friday, and Resurrection Sunday, so God bless you guys if you can't make it. But I'll be back, Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll do some more trades. I'm up $319 today. Basically crushed the markets today. Basically. Let's refresh this. Just busy crushing the markets. So I'm up 370 here, but I think there's some commissions that got to come out of that, but my net profit is 370 today. Look at that, all green, making a difference. Half hour of the day. Put some numbers up here. This is looking a little peaked, but I will be probably skipping my trades that happened during this afternoon session. Lost $636 during that time. Yeah, I do trade a little bit in the afternoon. Um, when I can, I'll watch it. I don't think I had many trades in the afternoon. Let's see what they were. So I had 7 trades at 2:30. That's yielded $819 in profit. 1 trade at 3 and 3 trades at 3:30. So a little bit here and there. I dabble. All right. God bless you all. Matt, have a good one. Thanks again for joining me. I wish you all the best. Be well. God loves you and take care. Have a good day. Bye bye now.